participants. We are just waiting for our chief guest. So please have patience. I hope all of you understand the building program on integration of pedagogy and technology in teaching learning. First of all, I'm taking the opportunity to introduce you to the Modi College. So Modi College is a renowned institution of the North India. Modi College is a name for the academic excellence in this region. Modi College is a 53-year-old institution which has 12 PG courses covering all the aspects of the education, including commerce, humanities, science, commerce, business management, 9 PG courses in the sciences, humanities, as well as commerce, 2 PG diplomas, 2 BVOC courses, and catering to approximately more than 400,000 in the different streams of humanities, sciences, and commerce. This college is a NAC accredited A-grade college with 3.26 CGPA, and it's a potential for excellence with the phase 2 by the UGC, which is given by the conferred by the UGC as a college with potential for excellence. College has elegant history and it has very renowned alumni to his credit. There are a number of courses, finishing programs are continuously organized. There is a lot of scope is there, and that's why we are organizing this 7-day program on the capacity building program for the integration of pedagogy and technology for the teaching learning process. The college has a vast infrastructure, including number of more than 62 classrooms, seminar halls, auditoriums, labs, science labs, research lab. In addition to that, it's quite pertinent to mention to the Vice Chancellor of our university that we have state-of-art facilities for the research, including infrared spectrophotometers, high-pressure liquid chromatography, gas chromatography, atomic absorption, to name a few. In addition to that, we have quite good biological labs, including tissue culture lab, digital labs, computational facilities for the research activities. And as a result, we have a strong output, more than 330 research paper of the SCI index paper in the last 5 years. 12 research guides are guiding the students, and 42 research students are currently registered for their PhD in the Punjabi University with the college faculty. In addition, college is also taking up curricular activities quite strongly and very elegantly in the sports. College won number of times Maharaja Yadavindra Trophy, the General Sports Championship for the men, 4 times in the last 5 sessions, and Rajkumari Amrit Kaur Trophy, General Sports Championship women 3 times in the last 5 sessions. So college is awarded with the best contributed in the Maka Trophy, which is won by the Punjabi University. So our sports person also bagged 36 university championships, got runner-up in the 14 championships, and we are also participating in the international and the national events in the sports. As a result, we can say that the college is contributing to the overall development of the society, not only academics, not only curricular activities, including sports, including general awareness, including the technological development or the researches. So Modi College is contributing to the society at its maximum. Still, there are always gaps. And to fill those gaps, our administrator, our faculty, our Modi College always try to contribute, try to organize such programs which can fill those gaps. So these gaps will be filled by organizing such workshops, conferences, seminars, which we are organizing time to time. So I'm just mentioning we have organized approximately 15 conferences in science and commerce in the last 8 years. In addition, colleges continuously, almost every fortnightly, we are organized such a program either for the faculty or the students, or with the involvement of the other faculty member in the surrounding institutions. This capacity building programs or other learning techniques for the development of the overall teachers and the student fraternity. For the today's program, which is a 7-day faculty, which is 7-day capacity building program on the integration of pedagogy and technology in the teaching learning. As we all of know that COVID-19 forcefully did this to all of us, that we have to learn how to integrate technology in the learning processes. Although a few institutions like Modi College is already doing the efforts in the integration of the technology in the teaching learning process. But COVID-19 did it for all of us to do it forcefully, whether we want it or not, but we have to do it. So in the meantime, as we are already going ahead of the time, we were using these technologies for the teaching learning process. So we were very comfortable. And the further development or the further things which we can integrate in this process, there are a number of programs are organized already. And this program is also on the integration of pedagogy and technology in the teaching learning process. So I hope this week-long program will help in identifying the issues, the techniques, the methods that we reorient our attitudes and priorities across the entire range and spectrum of technological aspects in educational pedagogy. The participants in the program will, I hope, carry a definite output back home, and to see that these learnings are widely, not just to them, but will be disseminated down the line. So it's my honor to be here and welcoming a vivid line of participants and experts for this capacity building program. Now, I request Dr. Khushwinder Kumar, Principal Modi College, Patiala, to formally welcome the guest and chief guest of the day. Sir, please unmute yourself.
Thank you, Dr. Sanjay. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Very good morning to all the participants. Honourable Vice Chancellor, Professor Arvind, Vice Chancellor, Punjabi University, Patiala. Sir, I extend welcome on behalf of Multani Modi College, Patiala, and Council for Teacher Education Foundation. Multani Modi College has already been introduced to you, and CTEF is a body that represents about 10,000 members of the college teachers and teacher educators. It has chapters in almost all the states of Punjab and out of India in Nepal, Bangladesh, and USA. I also extend welcome to Professor R.G. Kothari, Presidential Chair of the Day, and he is the mentor and advisor of CTEF. Just to permit me to begin with that why this idea of CBP was, how this idea incubated. Sir, I hardly believe that teaching, learning, and evaluation are interrelated and interdependent. Studies say so. And students do not learn what we wish them to or what they should be. Rather, they learn what we assess and evaluate. So in a way, our assessment and evaluation practices govern the students' learning and hence our teaching also. Now a strong factor of technology intervened the process, and this intervention, I think, neither can be ignored nor be avoided, but be adopted and controlled only. We have witnessed an example of this opinion during this last COVID period, when in a sudden, say, change of the new normal, we have to opt for online, not only teaching, rather examinations also. It has changed a lot. The focus or the attention is shifted to somewhere else. We successfully completed the process, but this process faced certain lacunas also. When I claim so, sir, permit me to share the experience of Multani Malmodi College. If I share the chronology, it was 14th of March 2020 when public transport was closed in the state of Punjab. And the very next day, from 16th to 20th of March, we organized a faculty development program for online teaching learning for our college teachers. And on 22nd of March, lockdown was imposed in the state of Punjab. And on 23rd March, we successfully started online classes in our college, that is Modi College, Patiala. By the time after 1 month, when the UGC issued a directive that the colleges and universities should opt for the online teaching, by that time, we spent 1 month on online teaching. And during that period, we conducted a survey of a feedback survey of our students on the online teaching learning experience. And I very fondly share that 54% of our students reported, out of the 4,000 students, 54% reported as a good experience, and 70% of the students reported their concept clarity as excellent or good. But it was not only very good or satisfactory for us. We conducted the online mid-semester examination also in the month of April, very successfully, and it was on Google form and auto-evaluated. By the month of January, our nation was witnessing the opening or recovering from the first phase of COVID, and UGC issued a directive that we should open up the institutes. We again conducted a survey to get the feedback from students that how to improve our online learning practices or teaching learning practices, and whether they are willing to join the offline classes or not. 63% of our students expressed willingness to join offline classes, but kindly note and read it in relation with that 55% of our students are from outside the city. And out of those, 51% commute through the public transport. And despite these constraints, 63% students expressed their willingness to join the offline classes. So these two surveys forced me to conclude that though we arranged a lease line in the college, we equipped all 67 classrooms for online teaching and all the facilities required for online teaching. We have purchased certain softwares also, but despite all this, it proved to be a supplement only to the teaching learning process. It cannot replace the offline or the face-to-face teaching learning, which was from the feedback of the students that 63% of the students just after 8 months were willing to join the offline classes. Once again, now we are conducting this survey on the vaccination and on joining the classes in offline mode. So sir, we had conducted such survey and the interactive sessions with our teachers. They reported so many difficulties which we try to improve from time to time. But this gave us a wonderful opportunity to arrange a 1-week capacity building program for not only our teachers, but for the teachers from across the nation, because our hypothesis was that when there will be a platform which will give the experience of the various teachers from across the country, perhaps we may be learning something new and we will be in the position to improve our teaching learning process, particularly when UGC have issued a circular that in the future we have to have 40% of the online classes. Sir, permit me to share here that we, at the beginning of every year, we are every department plan the unit planning, which in which they decide their timeline and the modes of the transaction by the teachers. From this session, we are planning the 40% those contents which will be taken up in the online from the next year also, irrespective of this COVID period. So in this light, we conceived this idea of 7 days faculty program. And in this program, 470 teachers have registered from 23 states of the country. The states from which maximum teachers are participating include Punjab, followed by Karnataka, Assam, J&K, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, and Chhattisgarh. So this platform, I hope, will guide us with your vision, with your futuristic thought, as you are from the physical sciences and a good exposure from the national institutes. I once again extend welcome on this platform on my own behalf, on behalf of the faculty of Multani Malmudi College, and on behalf of CTEF also. Welcome, sir. Thank you very much for joining us and sparing your time. Over to Dr. Sanjay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Before inviting Professor Arvind, let me introduce the chief guest of the day. So Professor Arvind is so first of all, warm welcome to the Modi College fraternity. On behalf of Modi College and the Council for Teacher Education Foundation, I formally welcome you to this 7-day capacity building program. Professor Arvind is a quantum physicist and a scientist of repute. He is an alumnus of IIT Kanpur, where he did Masters in Physics, followed by PhD in Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, one of the most reputed institution of the India. I say rather #1 institution of India. Then during that period, he was awarded with the INSA Young Scientist. Then he joined Guru Nanak Dev University as a faculty, as a professional career. He joined as a faculty at the Guru Nanak Dev University, his alma mater, where he did his graduation in physics honors. Then joined as a faculty at the Carnegie Mellon University, Pittsburgh, US, and then moved to Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, before moving to Indian Institute of Science Education and Research, Mohali, as one of the first faculty member of the Indian Institute of Science Education and Research in Mohali. He was Dean Research and Development from 2007 to 2010, Dean Students from 2010 to 2013, with such a long experience of teaching, administration, research at the prestigious institutions. Presently, Professor Arvind is a Vice Chancellor at the Punjabi University, Patiala. So I hope Punjabi University, as well as the colleges or the other institutions affiliated with the Punjabi University, will be helped under your guidance, under your vision. Now I will request Professor Arvind to enlighten us with his words of inspiration, guidance, and quantum enthusiasm. So Professor Arvind, welcome to you, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. First of all, I'm very thankful for this invitation and participating in this program. Specifically, we have a very distinguished speaker, Professor R.G. Kothari, who's going to speak later in the session. The principal, Dr. Khushwinder, has introduced the college and the details very well. So, क्योंकि कोठारी साहब ने इस करके मैं गल अंग्रेजी तो शुरू की थी, पर साढ़े को नेशनल लेवल ते बहुत सारे बाहर दे participants हैं. So maybe I will also speak in English because you have a pan-Indian audience. Although as a Vice Chancellor of Punjabi University, I normally speak in Punjabi. So I will make an exception because this is a national program. I think it's very important to talk about the use of technology in education and at all levels. But I must say that even chalk and blackboard is a technology. Building a room is a technology. So this idea that technology means online and internet is a very limited way to think about technology. When we do laboratory experiments, when we engage with, anything which involves use of material, modified material, it is technology. Pen is a technology, notebook is a technology. So I think, therefore, one should broaden the whole idea, and the education always has used technology. So when people carved out things in stone and left it for posterity, you had to use the technology of a chisel. So I would like you to be clear about this, that technology is very broad and has a very broad use in the educational processes. In the modern context, using modern technology, new technology, I think all that will be discussed in detail in this program, and I'm very happy about it. However, let me make 3 remarks for you to consider in the program over these days. Number one, UGC saying 40% online is a guideline, so there is no need to implement it just because UGC is saying so. UGC is a advisory body and not a direction giving body. In particularly when students are coming from rural areas and they do not have access to many of the facilities that one is talking about, as your survey said, that as soon as you wanted to open your college, 63% students wanted to come to the college. So this whole idea that things should slowly become offline and the classroom teaching should disappear is fundamentally flawed. Use of technology can happen inside the classroom, where you can show videos, animations, experiments, all kinds of things can be used. That is so it should be appropriate technology for appropriate purposes. And thinking of use of technology in education in terms of making things online and making the teacher redundant is a line which I personally do not support. Having said that, the online mode also gives access to many students. My own experience with the lockdown was twofold. When the lockdown started, I was teaching a laboratory course, and I started designing experiments which my students could do at home. So I uploaded the videos, they saw my experiments, they did their experiments, they uploaded their videos. We had a lot of interaction through technology, as you can say. And my second experience was a very advanced course in group theory, which I taught from my village. And initially I was quite skeptical, but the positive side was that many people who were not in my course also got recommended, and they watched those lectures and talked to me. So it gives a lot of access, which we should be very happy about. I mean, I did a series from EduSat called Meet a Scientist, where a scientist would sit in the Mohali studio and talk to 3,000 schools would connect, and I would talk to the scientists, and that would be visible. So technology is an enabling tool which we should use judiciously. However, any plan of UGC or any policymaker or any government to promote technology to reduce and change or remove the role of an actual physical teacher, I think is misuse of this concept. The technology should be at the disposal of the teacher, but don't underestimate the presence of a teacher in a classroom teaching at every level. So with these words, I kind of am very happy opening this 7-day seminar. And I hope some of the things which I have thrown to you will be discussed in the seminar. And I'll be very happy to see what is the reaction of resource persons and participants to all this. So please be very cautious in accepting technology proposals, because there might be hidden agendas that you may become party to. So all the best, and I look forward to a very fruitful 7 days seminar. I think it's for teachers, so teachers from all over the country have joined. So I virtually welcome them to Patiala and Punjab. If the program was an offline program, then they would have been here. So when there's an opportunity, please do visit Patiala, the Modi College and the university. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Professor Arvind, for your words and very deliberately differentiating between the technology and the modern technology and the use and the misuse and the different aspects, the positive and the maybe not so positive aspects behind this technological move. So thank you very much, sir. Thanks for your words. Yes, please. Now I invite Professor R.G. Kothari, former Vice Chancellor, Veer Narmad, South Gujarat University, former Dean, Faculty of Education and Psychology, the Maharaja Sayajirao University of Baroda, Vadodara, Gujarat. So I welcome Professor R.G. Kothari for his presidential address. Professor R.G. Kothari. Professor R.G. Kothari, please unmute yourself.
Respected Honourable Vice Chancellor, Professor Arvind ji, respected Principal Dr. Khushwinder Kumar, 470 participants from 23 states. So it's a big event, and that's possible because of this online mode. Now here there are two words. One word is pedagogy and another is technology, and that we want to integrate. Let me focus first on 5 questions. Actually, there were 13 questions, but I reduced them to the 5. That these 5 questions are very important for the teacher at any level, primary, secondary, higher secondary, or what we call senior secondary, or college and university level. So question number 1, why do we teach? Now, how many of us are clear about this question? Why do we teach? Which reflects in educational language we call learning outcomes. While conducting a survey on choice-based credit system, I made many teachers to design the curriculum of science, arts and commerce. Almost 460 courses were designed. And when finally document has come to me, I was first looking to what they have written at the top, what we call the learning outcomes, that at the end of this course, what they will be able to do. And I was so sad that it was not clearly written. There is no clarity. Why? Because for the university teachers, either net slate is qualification is essential or the PhD is essential, but nothing of sort of a training. I won't use the word training, but sort of orientation, which nowadays they are getting from so-called academic staff colleges or HRDC. But this clarity is not there. That why do we teach? Now, policy is very clear. National Education Policy 2020 says that at university level, what are the expectations? Question number 1 only, why do we teach? Critical thinking. At the school level, I have seen that everything is so rigid and fixed, and universities are also not free from that. Rigid curriculum, rigid teaching learning methods, evaluation pattern is also so rigid. So critical thinking we have to develop among the students. Second, higher order thinking capacities. It's not only remembering, but it is problem solving, teamwork, communication skill. Nowadays, wherever you ask the people, those who are conducting the interviews, and they will say that your students are very poor in communication skills. So this has been clearly highlighted in National Education Policy in the para 11.2. And it is also said that the government is going to establish one General Education Council, which is clearly stated in National Education Policy. And they will set up the learning outcomes. What are the graduate attributes? Graduate attributes. What you expect from a graduate of science or arts or commerce or education? What do you expect from him? So one must be very clear about why do we teach? Not only within class of 45 minutes to 1 hour, but for entire course. And when entire closed cluster is there, and when he studies in FY, SY, TY, and almost more than 120 credits, what he has acquired? Has he acquired critical thinking? Has he developed the skill of problem solving? Has he developed the teamwork? So if these things are not there, communication skills are not there, then I think our teaching has no meaning. So one must be very clear about why do we teach. So for that, he must be familiar with his own subject objectives. College had also now a vision and mission, so-called vision and mission we write. That is after inception of NAC, everybody started writing vision and mission. And I have visited more than 70 colleges. Somewhere the spellings are also wrong in vision and mission. And that they say this is our vision and mission. So such a poor situation should not be there. So there should be a lots of clarity about why do we teach. At college level, I think your college is such a big college. You can, and yours is a sort of a now, I think, multidisciplinary, because Dr. Khuswinder belongs to education. Now he is heading the arts and commerce and so many units. So you are already in that challenge, what national policy says. So first, let us have a clarity of why do we teach. Second is what do we teach. That you will say that is not in my hand, because that is decided by some seniors at the Board of Studies, approved by academic councils and approved by Board of Management or so-called Executive Council or syndicate. So that is there. What do we teach? So you have a little less liberty, but you have a liberty and flexibility to transact this particular thing. Third comes how do we teach? How do we teach? Because we are not exposed to the methodology. In so-called affiliate HRDCs also, they also bombard the lectures, and how is not properly ensured. Here comes the technology also, and there are so many methods, right from our ancient, we are talking about the inductive approach and deductive approach and scientific method and so many things. But how do we teach? That is very much important. It's not only online education. And I can quote here that there are reasons for technology also. Why we go for this? I mean, the third point, how do we teach? It is said that I hear, I forget. I hear, I forget. Right now, you people are doing that only. I'm speaking, you are hearing. That's what I hope. And I hear, I forget. Then I see, I remember. See, here comes the thing. I see, I remember. So there should be enough opportunity that students could see. Here, of course, your board is very much important. And within board also, how a variety of things, sir has already said, videos and all other things, nicely designed experiments and all these things are there, they will enjoy. So I see, I remember. And third, I do, I understand. You have to do, you have to work out. So some sort of a workshop session, group formation, and when they are supposed to work. So this we have to remember, and that there lies the technology. And it is also said that how much we learn, 1% through test, 1% through trace. And some people, their testing is very powerful, so they might be learning more. 1.5% to touch, 3.5% through smell. There are variations, individual to individual. 11 point through hearing. See, 11 point through hearing, and I hear, I forget, and only 11 point. And 83% through sight. 83% to sight. So only speaking, only bombarding lecture will not serve the purpose. That's my point here with how do we teach. And after that, how much we remember. We say, I hear, I forget. And I say 11% we learn from hearing. So the equations are so poor. And you say 20% what we hear. What we remember? 20%. Now try to analyze, I hear, I forget. And 11% through hearing. Learning happens, we learn 11% from hearing. And most of the classes, India or abroad, this is going on simply with the help of lectures only. So 11% to hearing, and out of them 20% what we hear. What we remember, 20% work, 11% you learn, and out of the 20% we remember. 30% we remember what we see. 50% see and hear. So that's a good combination. That whatever you see and hear, that has more impact. 80% what you say, that's bit philosophical, and 90% what you say and do. So these are the equations, and from that technology has come and it has to be integrated. Now, from where technology begin? Technology begin, I think it is ape man, what we call Adi Manav. When he was traveling in the jungle forest, he had shown a big stone that's on the road. And every day, because there are so many plants and trees, and so he was not able to move. So he was thinking what to do. He tried himself, he was not successful. He requested 1 or 2 person, but he was not successful in removing that stone from the road. What to do now? Human being is always imaginative. He found out a strong road. I don't know whether it was an iron road or it was a wooden road. But he tried with it, put it inside, and both the people, they tried to lift it, and they were successful. That was the first use of technology. That was the first use of technology. How many years, I don't know. Then we started with the technology. A simple, I think I can quote, before 20 years, a student was delivering a lesson in senior secondary school. It was on commerce, and he was teaching something on the transportation. It was simply a lecture method. After some time, he forgot. There were some 11 to 12 points in between. He spoke one, he discussed, then he was lost. Then he came to point number 11 straight. Then when he confused, he will look to the supervisor, what to do. I said, wait now, we drop the class today and let's do something. So I hand over to the school teacher and I told that student, do you have 20 rupees? He said, sir, are you joking? I said, I'm not joking. He said, sir, I have. And I will go to the market, bring one roll-up board. At the time, black roll-up board was available. He said, kya karunga? I said, you write down whatever the points about the transportation you wanted, advantages or disadvantages, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 11 or 12, whatever it may be. Okay. He said, okay, I will write down. Then next question he asked, sir, should I disclose all 11 or 12 points? I said, it is up to you. You are open for that. Distraction may be there. When all 12 points you will be putting, some sort of the distraction will be there. Students will be busy in writing and they will not listen you. Then I said, try to pin some hairpin or something that open one by one. And you try it. So he started doing that. Next day, and by the end of 45 minutes, I said, what happened? He said, sir, today it was an effective teaching. I said, how? Then he said, I have no doubt that I'm going to forget today. Otherwise, yesterday I had a fear that I will forget. 4th point will come first, 5th point will come last. So that business was not there. And I absolutely remember all the points, how to go, and all the illustrations to be given, that I could do it. So it was very effective. Entire process has become effective. Teaching, learning has become effective. And my energy has also reduced. My energy has also reduced. That is the technology. And we started applying that technology. This is 20, 30 years. Then we converted it to the overhead projectors by writing transparencies. Same transparencies now converted to PowerPoint presentation. Of course, it has nothing to do with the students will learn more or not. Only thing that PowerPoint presentation helps the teachers, that he will not move away from any point and he will be right on the points. That is there. And sometimes PPTs are also used by the other people. So I had stopped using nowadays because people are using. They on first page, they will write down their own name. That happens. But anyway, that can be used. And then live videos and all other things. That is very much important. Not even lectures. My son is a chartered accountant. He said one of the experts in Mumbai gives the lectures and it is being sold. 6,000 rupees, there is one lecture. And you can listen to only 3 times, that's all, not more than that. See now how cost effectiveness is also there. Otherwise, it will be transferred and posted to the other. So 3 times you listen and it goes away. That's the technology. That's the technology. So this is how technology is being used. So 3 times, then you will not be able to listen. So videos must be there. Situations should be there. All these things should be there. But you will, what Professor Arvind ji said, you will never replace the teacher. teachers' care, concern, and commitment. I have always been talking about that. That will be there. He will look to the students that, okay, today you are not well. It seems something is wrong. Let us discuss with you. I will talk to you later. All these concerns and commitment, that will not come. So in how do we teach? Of course, I was advocating right now the functional literacy and foundation literacy and so many words we are using. So at primary also, what technology we need? To prepare a nice storytelling approach, nice videos should be there. While talking to my grandchildren, I say, how could you remember all these poetries and all these episodes? He said, how it is presented. We have miserably failed. There is no good storytelling approach, no proper video. So videos should be there. Action song, it may be in any language. So action song should be there. And games should be there. So this should be, technology should be used in this way. It is not only online education. Online education is beautiful. I have need, because I think this is, I am delivering 120th lecture during this last 15 months. And I have seen that 2 times content is required. What in a normal classroom, what you go and speak in 1 hour, here it 1 hour you require double content. Because you are centrally mute sometime, not able to answer. Why centrally mute? Because I am sitting here, the maid servant will be washing the clothes, washing machine starts, that voice will come. Outside, the sabji wala will be going and he will be shouting. So naturally you have to mute. So here, these difficulties are there in online education. So online education is through technologies, various technologies are there. Zoom had come, Google Meet has come, that's good. But it is good for those who conduct the meeting. They want to conduct the meeting for them. Now it will be that only, that you will not go for a personal visit and airfare and everything will not be possible. You can conduct the meeting in this way, that can be done. Anyway, so my third point was, how do we teach? So in pedagogy, we have to see. So here you can use technology up to certain extent. It is up to you, right? You can go for PowerPoint presentation. You can, of course, now that has also become old, but this is there. But still, modules you have to prepare, computerized modules. And hard copy also can be given and soft copy also can be given. Those who are access to that video and all of the, laptop and internet, they can do it. Others can simply go through that hard copy. Programs are there and there are mechanisms for designing the program. So how do we teach? That is very much important. There are a number of methods. We have been following the lecture method so nicely, but still the concept of seminar, I have experimented seminar almost for 27 years. And not a seminar where 3 minutes are given for the presentation. In my class, 30 to 40 minutes were given for a student to presentation. And it was discussed again for 30 to 40 minutes. And 10 hours orientation was given to them, that how to write what is a seminar, how to conduct a seminar, how to write a paper, how to write the references, how to present a paper, how to discuss a paper, and all these things. So only one student in 90 minutes will be presenting. And we had a very good experience so far. What I talk about the communication skill, I think they could do it very nice. And this can be done. It is not that you will say that our classes are big. I have classes are big in arts, commerce, not in science, not in BBA, not in BCA, not in engineering, not in BA, not in BBA, not in BSW, not in MSW, because where our class size is fixed. And with what approach I have said, that with 50 students you can do it, but 3 to 4 teachers are required. Complete observation. If you can do it video, and again you can show it for 5-10 minutes, that also will be fine. So this is what is technology. Technology is not only online education, as UGC says that 30% will be there. That's, I don't know how, because you have to see. Somebody said that there are 128 crores mobiles in India and population is 135. But if you go to the quality of mobile and types of mobile, that is all are not the smartphones or iPhones. So everybody is not having this. So this is all about how do we teach in pedagogy. So why do we teach? What do we teach? How do we teach? So here you have a full liberty in teaching. In where, what do we teach? Perhaps you say that flexibility, autonomy is missing, but how do we teach? So you have to learn various approaches. Group discussion and seminar, they will play the significant role. Right? There is nothing technology. You can present your paper with the help of PPT or something like that. If some video is there, you can demonstrate live. That's when do we teach? Now we have no answer. When do we teach? Because now it is said that by 2035, I hope I am correct, we should go for double the enrollment, gross enrollment ratio. Now we have, I think, 26% something. And within this 10, 15 years, it should go to 50%. So with this, do you think that when do we teach? I think all the colleges and universities should run in 3 shifts. Numbers increase. I don't know. 1,000+ universities are there now in India. And National Knowledge Commission also sometimes said that it should be 1,500. And if you want to increase this gross enrollment ratio to the 50%, I think shift system will be there. And that's why UGC says that at least 30%. It's not a 6 hours per day, and 4 or 5 hours you will be in the college and 30% will be online. I think one should experiment it, and then only you should make it correct, that whether it is possible. Before advocating anything, a clear-cut demonstration and experimentation should be there. So when do we teach? People say morning is the best time, but all the colleges could not be in the morning. There are many colleges in the evening also. Earlier, almost all law colleges were in the evening only. And we have a very good lawyers also. So when do we teach? Little with restriction. And how and why outcomes are measured? This is my 5th question so far pedagogy is concerned. How and why outcomes are measured? How and why outcomes are measured? Why? Because you wanted to know whether the communication skill has been developed or not, critical thinking is developed or not, creativity is developed or not, whether do they have a teamwork. One aspect which was mentioned in the earlier chapters of NEP, that social responsibility. Do you have that? How to teach this? Many of our courses will not help in direct. So number of activities are also necessary. Number of activities, only simple lectures will not survive. You have to go with many other things. So how and why outcomes are measured? So observation only. Now we have gone to the multiple questions, MCQ, multiple choice question. And it's extremely difficult. Many people say that language, what multiple choice will that? Are you asking the birth date of author? Are you asking the Nirvana din of a particular author? These are not the things. So it's a bit difficult. So how and why outcomes are measured? And that's why I say that seminar, classroom, how they are reacting. How they are reacting. A paper is presented and somebody will react that, sir, in the beginning of part of the paper, you said India is a land of agriculture. And at the end, you are contradicting something. Why this is so? So that's the highest level of discussion. So that should be there. So this 5 questions: what, why, what, how, when, and how. And where you want, you can use the technology. I'm not against the technology, but judicial use of technology should be there. And along with that, 1 or 2 more minutes, you should know who are my students. That never happens. Whenever I also go to HRDC, I ask the director before 3-4 days that who are the people. Other day I went to a ICSSR program. I had gone with an entire test. I said, how many of you are guides? And director said, sir, these are not guides. These are only students. So before entering to the class, who are my students? Sociological background, setup, where do they come from? All these things, not difficult. And sometimes you have to focus on 2% on left-hand side of normal probability curve and right-hand side of normal probability curve. Those who are with little below intelligence and those who are with the quite hyper and high intelligence. You have to focus well on that. Remaining 68% will be all right. So who are my students? What should they learn? Now, this is not in your hand. This is not my in hand because it is curriculum specific. But beyond that, you should try to focus on that. Right? What should they learn? How should they learn? Are we never involving them? We should involve them in how, whether they have any other idea. Right? So next is when should they learn? These are, a teacher should know this core question. So for that, curriculum design and everything is very much important. Here, if at all, some technology use, because I said that technology can save your time. Your PowerPoint presentation can continue for 20 years. You can add and subtract the slide according to this. I was also doing that in my curriculum note. I was putting the learning outcomes of national education policy. So this can be done. And here technology will be very much useful. But integration should be not only online. Online, people are not so happy. I had surveyed with the people. I have talked with the people. I have talked with the children also. I have talked with the higher class students also. They say, sir, we are not enjoying the online. It's a bit difficult. But anyway, the alternative is there, that it has helped us during this pandemic. But for that also, programs should be designed. A well-designed program should be there. Material, program learning material, we did lots of research on that, but it has never to enter to the classroom. Branching style program, linear style program, that should be done. And if it is there, hard copy also and soft copy also, at any time they can be doing this. So this is my humble suggestions for that, that you must know this what, how, when, how to evaluate. And as a teacher, you should know who are your students, what they want to learn, how should they learn, and when should they learn. So it's a mutual interaction. Then wherever possible, you can use the technology. There is nothing wrong. So with this, I conclude. I am thankful to Dr. Khushminder Kumar for inviting me for this great function and inaugural address. And thank you all.
Now for the vote of thanks. Honourable Vice Chancellor, Punjabi University, Dr. Arvind, Professor R.G. Kothari, former Vice Chancellor, VNSG University, Surat, distinguished resource persons, Principal Dr. Khushminder Kumar, all participants from other states and faculty members from Modi College, Patiala, a very good afternoon. We are indeed fortunate and grateful to have such eminent personalities from the academia amongst us for this capacity building program, which has been organized from 13th to 19th July. I deem it a great honor to propose a vote of thanks to our esteemed Vice Chancellor, Dr. Arvind, for gracing today's session and delivering the inaugural address. It is very kind of you, sir, to have accepted our invitation in spite of your multifarious engagements. In his inaugural address, Dr. Arvind stressed that technology has a very broad usage in education. It is not just about internet, etc. Rather, it involves the use of any modified material. Technology is an enabling tool which should be used judiciously, and the role of teacher cannot be undermined. I'm sure that the learned and excellent inaugural address by Dr. Arvind will set the tone for the lectures and discussions for the coming sessions. Thank you so much, sir. Profound gratitude to Dr. R.G. Kothari for his presidential address. Dr. Kothari dwelled on the very important questions of what, when, how, and why do we teach, and how and why outcomes are measured. He also talked about how technology started in education and how it is being used in the present day. Technology is not merely about online education, and he also stressed that the role of the teachers cannot be undermined in any way. Thank you, sir, for sharing such valuable information with us. Once again, we express our gratitude. Over to Dr. Sanjay.
Thank you, Professor Shailendra. And I again thank Professor R.G. Kothari for his valuable words. Being a science student and a teacher, we never thought in the line, usually, if I'm taking it personally, that why do we teach? What do we teach? How do we teach? And when and how and why? What are the outcomes of these teachings? I think it's quite pertinent to mention here for the information to the all that Modi College, as far as I can grasp the things, is quite, I think, very relevant if I mention that Modi College has embedded a number of things which we are saying either it's a technological, it's a general teaching learning process. There is a process, there is a program started by our principal, that is hand-on practice, where we have embedded the direct teaching learning with the technological aspects. There is finishing school programs started by Dr. Khushwinder Kumar. There is also programs of the peer learning. And there are all other efforts, I'm just mentioning a few, which are embedded. So I would like to information for the all that we are integrating a number of things. It's just not technology means, as it's a misconception, as Professor Kothari as well as Professor Arvind mentioned, when we are talking about technology, usually what we think of mobile phone, we think of internet, we think of a computer or the laptop, but technology is beyond these words, beyond these small machines. So every technology or every small or the larger concept from micro to macro level, we are trying to engage, embed, and introduce at the different levels for the learning of the students. But I would thank you because we all are benefited with your vision of the technological aspects, of the teaching learning aspects, and the factors which we should think that who are our receptors, who are the learners, what they are, why they are here, what they are learning and how they are learning, and what we should teach them. So I think this is the another aspect we should consider, and it will benefit us more as a teacher as well as our students. So thank you. Thank you, Professor Kothari, for your words of wisdom. Thank you very much. So for the next speaker of the day.
Thank you, Kothari sir. Thank you so much. And thank you, Professor Arvind.
Thank you, sir.